All right, let's jump right into this explainer. To truly understand a story that absolutely defies logic, we've got to strip away the blinding stadium lights and the billionaire lifestyle for a second. We have to start softly, on a tiny island in the Atlantic Ocean called Madeira. Picture this: a cramped house with a leaking tin roof, paint peeling right off the walls, and the steep, dusty streets of Funchal. This is where a young boy named Cristiano ran barefoot, kicking a makeshift ball made out of rags, simply because his family couldn't afford a real one.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how his relentless drive was instantly anchored by his mother, Maria Dolores. She was sweeping streets and working as a cook just to put food on the table for her kids. She was actually so overwhelmed by poverty that she attempted to abort him. But when she confessed this to him years later, he didn't harbor any anger. No way. Instead, born from that deep poverty and a literal near miss with existence, he turned that revelation into the ultimate fuel. He was meant to live, and he was absolutely going to prove it to the world. Section 1. The Boy from Madeira. So growing up was tough. His father, Diniz, struggled deeply with alcoholism, but he was also the one who brought Cristiano to his first local club. Out on those uneven dirt pitches, he learned pretty quickly that if you fall, you just get right back up. By the time he moved 1,000 kilometers away to the Sporting Lisbon Academy, at just 12 years old, mind you, he was ruthlessly mocked. The other boys bullied him for his thick Madeira accent. He was incredibly poor. In fact, he used to wait outside a local McDonald's at 11 p.m. begging for leftover burgers from the staff. And because he had this intense, almost uncontrollable hatred of losing, he would actually weep when things didn't go his way on the pitch. That's how he earned the nickname Crybaby. But here's the brilliant flip side to that raw emotion. That exact same crybaby never actually lost his tears. He just changed what they meant. Fast forward, and we see those exact same tears pouring down his face, only this time they're tears of pure joy after turning those boyhood losses into a monumental international trophy, winning the 2016 Euros for Portugal. Of course, none of that glory would have happened if he hadn't survived a terrifying roadblock at age 15. He was diagnosed with tachycardia, meaning he had a resting heart rate of over 100 beats a minute. This was a massive health scare that literally threatened to end his career before it even really began. His mother wept, but Cristiano, he simply refused to accept it. He underwent laser surgery to cauterize parts of his heart, and incredibly, just days later, he was right back on the pitch. Giving up was simply never an option. Moving on to Section 2, Forged in Manchester. Let's look at how this global conquest actually built up. It all started back in 2003. In the summer of that year, Sporting played a fateful friendly match against the English giants Manchester United. An 18-year-old Cristiano didn't just play well, he absolutely humiliated seasoned Premier League defenders. His stepovers were so lightning fast and animated, full of this kinetic energy, that United players literally begged their manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, to sign him before they even left the stadium. His arrival in England was the catalyst that would launch him into the stratosphere of world football. £12.24 million. Bam. Deliver that like a rapid-fire punch, right? It was a staggering record fee for a teenager. Think about it. Here's a skinny kid who didn't speak a single word of English, thrust entirely into the spotlight, and handed the iconic number 7 shirt. That is the exact same jersey worn by absolute legends like George Best, Eric Cantona, and David Beckham. The pressure was immediately immense. You can see the contrast of his early days here. At first, the English media completely slammed him. They called him a skinny show pony, doing elaborate, pointless stepovers. But Sir Alex Ferguson's tough love sparked a total transformation. Ferguson once screamed at him in the dressing room, yelling, "Who do you think you are?" That taught him that end product is what actually wins games. So how did Cristiano respond? He started strapping weights to his ankles in training. He stayed hours after everyone else had gone home to practice free kicks, physically transforming his body from a flashy winger into a terrifying machine-like champion. Which brings us to Section 3, the Real Madrid dynasty. £80 million. Boom. By 2008, he had won literally everything in England, including the Ballon d'Or, but he was obsessed with becoming the absolute greatest. In 2009, Real Madrid broke the world record fee to bring him to the Santiago Bernabeu. 80,000 fans crammed into the stadium just to watch his unveiling. This move launched the most dominant phase of his entire career and sparked his eternal, decade-long battle with Lionel Messi.
438 matches for Los Blancos. Keep the pace fast here. He became an absolute Iron Man for the club. He was operating at a level of consistency that honestly defied human biology, doing it year after year against the greatest teams in all of Europe.
And 450 goals. Yes, you heard that right. He scored more goals than he actually played games. It is an impossible machine-like statistic. He was breaking records for fun, leading Madrid to 4 Champions League titles and picking up 4 more Ballon d'Or trophies along the way. So the absolutely crucial point here is that amidst all this unprecedented, mind-boggling success in Madrid, he stayed totally true to his roots. When he stood in front of those 80,000 fans and said, "I have made my childhood dream a reality," he was fulfilling the exact promise he made to his weeping mother at the airport as a 12-year-old boy. He told her he'd make them rich and make her proud, and wow, did he deliver.
All right, Section 4, Conquering Italy and Beyond.
Now, most players ride off into the sunset in their 30s. Not him. Driven by a feeling of being underappreciated in Madrid, he completely refused to slow down. At 33 years old, which is an age when strikers are typically supposed to be finished, he made a massive €100 million move to Juventus. Look at this mind-blowing data. He totally defied aging, literally outscoring his younger self in his 30s. While in Italy, he scored a header against Sampdoria where he leapt an astonishing 2.56 meters into the air, literally defying gravity. His physical prime simply refused to end. He became the first player to be top scorer in England, Spain, and Italy. But guys, it wasn't just physical endurance, it was incredible mental fortitude. He survived the tragic, heartbreaking loss of his baby boy during childbirth. He navigated intense, highly public club conflicts like his dramatic exit from Manchester United under Erik ten Hag. And yet, through all of that, he dusted himself off, moved to the Saudi Pro League with Al Nassr, and at 38 years old, ended 2023 with 54 goals. He became the world's top scorer once again, beating out players literally half his age, like Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe.
Finally, Section 5, An Unstoppable Legacy.
Because, this explainer isn't just about football statistics. It is a masterclass in human willpower. The blueprint of that little boy from Madeira can actually be applied to your own life. Step 1, endure the lonely struggle. When you're far from home, begging for scraps, you keep training in the dark. Step 2, obsess over your standards. Don't just do the flashy animated step-overs. Put actual weights on your ankles. Step 3, turn mockery into fuel. When they call you a crybaby, you show them tears of victory. You can apply this exact mindset to your own dusty streets and your own lonely nights.
Now pushing past 40, his eyes are locked firmly on the 2026 World Cup. He continues to prove time and time again that the only limits in life are the ones we accept. So I leave you with this final electrifying thought to take with you today. Look at what he built from a leaky tin roof in Madeira. What limits will you refuse to accept today?